Welcome back to another trading video here. If you watched my video yesterday, you'll know that one of the plays that I was watching for today was a first green day reversal here on Peloton that has just been getting crushed since the end of last week. I did take a trade on it. It didn't work out, unfortunately. I'll get into that in a minute here. I actually said in the video yesterday I was looking for, like I said, the first green day. I ended up playing a put on it instead because we had this sell-off here, and then we did try to make this red-green move on it, which was, what I was looking for that first green day reversal. But we failed to really get over that, red-green level there. It would have been a decent buy cracking VWAP here, but I probably would have ended up just cutting it here for break even, or maybe up here for a small profit after it failed so many times. But then once it crossed back over VWAP, since we had failed it so many times here, I just wasn't really convinced that even if we got the move that it was going to be very strong. And it turned out to be an all right move, about $1.50 before it turned back down, failing to really break over 103. It was just something when I was watching it, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit weak, and I just decided not to play it, but I didn't want to start trying to guess a top on it anywhere for a put. And then I did have to leave again today in the afternoon, so I didn't trade these middle few hours of the day or watch it here. But when I got back and started watching the market again, it was when it was right around here and failing back towards VWAP and about to go red on the day again. And as you can see, we kind of have this downtrend here. So I entered into the trade. We'll pull it up. I got in, let's see, I placed my order at 226 for two contracts of a $100 put at $150 a piece, so a $300 position there. And again, that was at 226, and so it was right on, right on this candle here when we failed, or when we went red on the day and below VWAP. I thought we were going to get a nice big pullback and maybe test low of day again. So I got those puts, and then a few minutes later we get this reversal. So I thought it might have just been a fake out, but I did try to give it a little bit of time here, just with the trend going down still. Let's get back into the 1 minute here. So I did try to give it a little bit of time, and then you'll see here it does, break back over here. And let's see, oops. And so I did place an order to get out at 145, so it's just going to be a quick $10 loss on them at 230. I ended up canceling that order just because I was kind of thinking that we were going to get a pullback and it was maybe just another, fake out up there. But then when we came back and retested the trend line there and then had another green candle and another green candle, then I got out, which was, I did that again, which was about the worst time possible to get out at, literally just a minute later, lost an extra 5 on each one, so it turned into a $20 loss. But you can see 231 was literally the peak of this, little bounce here, and then it came back down and faded the rest of the day. The only thing that I really regret about this trade, I don't really regret cutting it. You have to have risk levels and honor and respect to the plan there, and that's what I did. It, went back over the trend there and kind of got back over, a couple of these candles. So I just cut it there, and then it came back down. The only thing that I regret about the trade is not re-entering it once it, failed back below VWAP. I should have been looking for another entry here because I was pretty convinced that we were going to get that late day fade, and that's why I entered it to begin with. And, there's plenty of time here, about 10-15 minutes, where it's just kind of chopping around right below VWAP, right below that red to green level. And worst case scenario, it comes back up here and cut it for another $20 loss, which wouldn't be terrible. Or best case scenario, we do get that giant pullback that I was expecting to begin with. And I think when I looked at the puts, the put that I had right in this area, they were up to about $240 a piece. So it would have been, $90 gain on each contract, a nice $180 gain on a $300 play. But unfortunately, I had cut it and didn't get back in. That's really the only thing I'll trade or that I would change about this trade. It is kind of tough because I would hate to use up 2 day trades on the same play and have it fail and just cut them both. But, after just thinking about it a little bit more, I should have been a little bit more patient with it or just use that 2nd day trade because it was a good setup failing, going right on the day below VWAP. I should have given it another try. Or when I cut, I was mainly just going off of the trend here. But if I would have just been a little bit more patient here, you can see that this kind of level up here around the 101.90 area and really could have just stuck it out to 102. We had a lot of support built up right here for whatever reason. It bounces off of that quite a few times during the middle of the day. It was a little bit of resistance, when it dropped below it earlier here. You can see it bounces off of it, 4 or 5 times before it breaks it, then bounces off of it up again, 4 or 5 times once it's over it. So that's really the only thing as well, besides not re-entering it. As far as just the technical side and cutting the trade that I was in, I should have waited for that whole dollar of 102. The loss wouldn't have been much worse, and probably just another $5 or on each contract, 10 at the most, and really given this time to play out. It was a really small loss on a percentage standpoint, so I'm not too upset about it, but it just stinks to have it work out just as I kind of anticipated it, but being about 10-15 minutes early on it and not giving it another shot. So at this point, it is still a main watch for me tomorrow because now we have another red day on it, this $100 level. I'm hoping that we get a gap down and then a good, red to green move on it tomorrow, a little bit more convincingly on the first way through. But we'll see. Or if it, kind of behaves the same way tomorrow, it could be another put. But I just feel like it's been beaten up. I know that they do have had some bad news coming out, so I'm not going to swing it if I do go long on it or get a call on it. That's for sure. It would be a pretty quick day trade over that red to green level. But you can see, we definitely have some more downside here. This news was a lot worse than, right now it's just kind of going over the fundamentals, the cost of their treadmills and stuff like that, and profits and everything is what's kind of driving it down here. This was much worse news that drove it all the way down to 80. I'm not, if you follow Peloton, you might know, you might not, but they had incidents with their treadmills and it actually ended up killing a couple of kids that got caught up in it, and I think even some pets. So that is what, gave them this huge red day here. So I would have a tough time thinking that we actually retested these lows just off of, the speculation of their profit margins and things like that compared to how bad of news this is. And we do get some good green moves after that beat down. So I'm thinking we should get a green day, even a green day like this one here. You get a $9 move on that green day. So that's what I'm still looking for. But if it just looks weak and is going red again, I have no problem just taking another put on it and seeing how low this can go. Honestly, the lower it goes, the better. If we get another couple red days on it, that's fine. It just strengthens the case for that first green day and how much it'll recover when that day does come. So that'll still be one of my main watches for tomorrow. Another thing that I'm watching for tomorrow as far as options go will be NVDA here. We had a nice pullback on it today. I thought that this was a pretty healthy pullback. It's been trending up, for quite some time here. We touched 230 and failed off of that. And just a minor pullback here, but I think it's still still has a lot of strength and we could see it continue to run. So I'll be watching this for a red to green move tomorrow and playing it long, or if we still a continued pullback, I probably won't play any puts on this even if we go red on the day, even though you do have a really nice play here right out of the open. You open slightly green on the day and then just this huge sell off right away. That would have been a great play there. But it does recover a lot of that, and so we'll see how that's set up for tomorrow. But NVDA and Peloton will be the two main watches for me tomorrow. But other than that, it was a pretty slow day for me. A lot of the stocks that I was watching, the lower float, cheaper stocks that I would have been buying shares of, they just all kind of failed right out of the gate. If you saw the video yesterday, I was talking about RNXT maybe being another big runner like SPRT was, with the news of the FDA approval coming out yesterday and this huge move towards the end of the day, and after hours had a nice run up to 18. But this just failed right out of the gate. Had a little fake out going green and then just crushed all day long and faded. I'll keep it on watch, but I think the volume, you can see the volume today just never really came in. Overall 12 million volumes, not terrible, but you can just see kind of the attention that it got at the end of the day yesterday off of that news. It just didn't carry much weight today. So we'll see what it does tomorrow. I'm happy that it is holding that $10 level. But like I said, that was one of the main watches for me this morning, and it got crushed. SPRT is another one that I was watching for a red to green, and it tested it and failed. As you can see here, pretty much bounced right off of it. And then just another one that kind of got crushed today. And it did have a nice bounce back of about $4 a share midday. I wasn't around, but I would not have played that either, even though I do like the $30 level as a support level. So you do get a pretty good price there of, around 31, risking $1 a share for a move like that. But I probably wouldn't have played that, but I am still going to be watching this for, another red to green move and go long it one more time. I just think obviously this run was insane, and it's not actually a $60 company. It's probably not even worth $30. But I don't really care too much about what the company is worth itself. It's all about the price action. And this, it's heavily shorted at this point. So we'll see if we can get a red to green move on it that actually comes through, and I think we could get a big move. But another red day on this one wouldn't be bad. I kind of am hoping we gap down to the mid to high 20s tomorrow, and we'll see how it sets up. And then the other one that I was watching was ACIU here, which was a big move on the day, a huge gap up and action in pre-market. Let's make this bigger. So they had a huge move here in pre-market. So I was actually, if we pull up E-Trade, I almost entered it. I had an order for 50 shares at $12 a piece. I just never actually sent it in. But I was considering it right in this kind of early morning consolidation, slightly above VWAP. I just liked, you have a pretty tight risk there. But you do get a pretty fast sell-off from 12 down to 11, and then it hung around 11, so that was kind of pre-market support as well, so that wouldn't have been a bad entry either. And just even retesting VWAP, that's a 75-cent move there, and we did retest 12, but then this one also just got crushed. So that's why it was kind of a slow day for me, because the three main watches I had this morning just came out of the gate and never came out of the gate, just weak and didn't set up for a good play. And then Peloton, was the main option that I played. And I was watching NVIDIA, but I didn't have anything that I was really looking for with it today. RDHL was one that I thought this would run a little bit better just because of this nice steady uptrend that we had. But then it did, I'm not sure what caused this to happen. You can see we get a ton of volume in the morning, and that facilitates that run up. And then it, just gets destroyed from 10:30 to 11, and bottoms out around here, right at like 11:30 or so, and does recover. And we got over VWAP and are just settled right under it now. So if this can hold, 10 into tomorrow, it could be a potential play as well. I'll keep it on watch and see what's going on with it in pre-market. But it only had 9 million volume today with a 46 million float. So that's not great. It just started off the morning so hot, I figured it'd keep getting the volume, but that just kind of died out on us there. But it's not a terrible, chart. You can see this $10 level has been a little bit of resistance for it in the past. So if we can hold over 10, you can see in this area when it did finally get over 10 for a day, you got some decent moves there, but I'm not sure on the upside with it. It would need significant volume, even just on the day here, compared to the few days before it that it just didn't get a ton of volume for something breaking out like this. But I'll be watching that. And then any is what I played yesterday. Lost some on that. And I was watching that as well, but out of the open, it just didn't look strong. This $6 reclaim here wouldn't have been a bad play. It wasn't on my radar. You can see this alert went off for me here. I was watching it for a red to green move. But at this time, it was just a little bit too late for me because, like I said, I was gone for kind of the middle of the day there. But you get a little pop on it, but I just like how it's still holding up. But again, the volume today compared to yesterday is 17 million today, and I'm not sure what yesterday was, but you can just see here, insane compared to today. The 22 million float's not bad. But we'll need a little bit more volume to pick up. But it is good when these kind of runners can just kind of hang around a little bit because you know that they're getting shorted. And this one didn't go as crazy as SPRT did. So, you definitely have shorts in it. And if we can just get a nice, red to green move on this one again tomorrow and just kind of hang around that $6 level, hopefully through, Wednesday and Thursday, just like I said, hang around, and then Friday, definitely a squeeze candidate. So this is something to just kind of keep watching throughout the week here. But yeah, you can see yesterday we had 93 million volume, and today that number was down to 16 million. So the hype has, apparently died down around it a little bit, but you never know what can happen on a Friday if it does just kind of chop around sideways. But I'd say as of now, Peloton is my main watch for tomorrow, and as NVDA as well. And then I'm sure we'll have some new pre-market runner tomorrow. Hopefully they hold up a little bit more because, like I said, everything this morning did just kind of get crushed out of the gate. But we'll see how it goes. And thanks everybody for tuning in again, and I will see you next time.